Brodbeck with Precision Inflation, and I am marketing inflation systems which allow a farmer to take their pressures up for the road to where they need to be and down for the field. What that does is all the tire manufacturers recommend tire pressures for optimal footprint, but they have to stay within certain restrictions so that they can handle the speed and the heat and the weight on the road. When you get to the field and you open up your implements, a lot of that weight comes off the axle, and you don't need that much pressure in your tires. So what we do is we drop the pressures down in the field, and that allows the increase in traction, reduces compaction, increases fuel efficiency, and everything works better that way. 20% better wear on your tires. Is a very effective system that we have. It is a two-line system. So one line is for the air, the second line is for a check valve with a sensor, and that means that when the system is not in use, there's no pressure on the lines or on the seals, and everything lasts a long, long time that way. This is a system that is called an airbox. It goes over the outside of the wheel with the rotary union on the outside. I also have systems that can mount on the inside of the wheels, right on the axle itself, and then all the lines are inside and protected. The system requires a compressor to run. This is a 20 CFM compressor, hydraulically driven. That's the smallest one that I have. And then the boxes for the plant or for the tractor are all digital. You can run 3 axles at one time. You preset the road pressure and the field pressure, and it'll set individual axles, and you can also change your pressure incrementally if there's a change in your conditions. The system is very durable. I've seen systems in Europe that have run 15 years without a problem with a leak or any maintenance on the seals. This was year 2010. It was a tough year, and there was a lot of obvious compaction. It was very wet. This corner couldn't even be planted on this field. But with this particular farmer in this particular field, he had a 90-foot planter set up, and you can count every 30 feet was where his wheel tracks were. So you go 30, 60, 90, there's a wheel track, 30, 60, 90, there's a wheel track, 30, 60, 90, there's a wheel track. And every time you see these incredible streaking on the yield map, and that's where the tire tracks are. That was the worst area in his field. Was not necessarily, even where it was better, it was still lower than what was next to it. So that was his first year before he had an inflation system. After he put the inflation system on the following year, everything was much more uniform. Now I can't take all the credit for the increase in yield and so forth, but the uniformity is what is very striking to me, because you see almost no streaking in this yield map at all, and that's a direct result of the inflation system. I have guys that tell me that they once they got the inflation system, and they would go out first with their planter, use the inflation system, and then go back out with their sprayer. And normally with their sprayer, they would follow the wheel tracks from their planter. They didn't bother to, set up any pole marks or anything else. They just follow the roads. And once they got an inflation system, the roads weren't there anymore, and they were sort of lost in their field. So they had to go back to paying attention to where they were. But that's a good thing. You don't want those roads in your field. You want to take the compaction up out of your soil. Everything works better when you don't have as much compaction.